I didn't even know if I wanted the job. It's really funny. I hosted for a little over a year, and then we had Hillary Clinton on, and I called her tone deaf, and I wanted to bring up her emails, and it was a feisty exchange, which I thought was very polite, but I didn't have a job 3 days later, so that
Did
was
she
fun.
smell like sulfur?
She was not pleasant. She was very unlikable, and she kind of read like a pod person, you know? Like she wasn't like a real human inside the body. It was just some sort of weird robot. Um, but yeah, I survived for a little over a year there, which was interesting. Um, and that was it for The View. Yeah, that was my experience. And then I went back actually. It's funny. I was supposed to go back and host a bunch with them. They had reached out to me right around COVID, and I refused to get the jab. So they sent somebody to test me at my house. I was negative, but they wouldn't let me in the studio. And then they offered for me to come on and talk about my book. I was doing a book tour for a book called Dear Hartley, which was a series of letters written to my son. And they brought me on and decided to fight with me about the jab and humiliated themselves. And I decided that I was done with them. I was done with being nice. Let's just say that.
Is Joy Behar a bitch?
Joy is very moody, um, very, very moody. And my interaction when I actually worked the show, which was really funny, I had a pretty good relationship with all of them. You had to like walk on eggshells a little bit because everybody was very ready to erupt all the time. Like a lot of the hormones were just ready to blow. But I'm polite. I'm pretty easy. Anyone who's worked with me will tell you she's pretty easy to work with. Like I don't cause a lot of trouble. I'm not. So it was all right when I worked there. It wasn't until I went back and the jab was like that everyone went insane. But Joy is moody, very unpredictable, shall we say.
Sounds like a bitch. I'm just saying, just pointing out, Joy Behar. I've always gotten the distinct impression was just kind of a bitch, but just saying. I've tuned into The View a couple of times. I would rather I don't know, like eat dissolved nails in bat of
Yeah.
acid than tune in ever again if I could avoid it. But I was just curious, like how an interaction. I don't think I've ever talked to somebody who hosted The View and knew Joy Behar. So, but
Yeah, here I am.
she sucks. Yeah, she sucks. She said they all. Well, I mean, they all suck, but she's like
Well, what's
really
funny?
bad.
I thought a couple of them were my friends because I had a pretty good relationship while
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
there
a
with
big
Sarah
mistake.
and Sunny. I really did. I was like, I thought not friend, not your clothes, but I thought, like work acquaintance, like they'd have my back. No. When I got fired, nobody spoke up for me. No one was like, hey, how does Hillary Clinton come on and Jed doesn't have a job 3 days later? Like, what the hell? And nobody said that. And they were all afraid to lose their own jobs. And then with the jab, everybody turned on me because, they're a bunch of, I realized these are just programmed robots and it is what it is. And I was really ultimately very happy to be out of that craziness because it's just stress, it was just stress.
Well, you are. I mean, you are a podcaster now. How do you like that?
I do like it because I can make my own schedule. People think, it's so funny. I did content the other day about women and prioritizing family, and people are like, "Well, Jed, you're on a podcast," and I'm like, "I work. This is a third bedroom in my home, but that I'm sitting in right now, and I do an hour and a half a week, an hour and a half.
Yeah, I
That's
saw
it."
that. I saw that exchange on X. Somebody was like, "Why aren't you taking care of your kids or something?" And you were like, "Well, I stream once a day, or
Once a
once a
week,
week.
Andrew.
Sorry,
Once a
yeah,
week.
once a week." Um, and I noticed that they didn't say anything back. I just
No,
want to
because
point that out.
the expectation is because I worked in TV that I was, that I had, a nanny. We've never had that. We had when I first had Hartley, I had to go to PT because I had a 4 hour push for that baby, 2 hour push. I'm sorry for that baby. And I went to PT and I would have somebody come and help me those maybe first couple of months. I had some help, usually while I was home. Like I was getting help with nursing and it was like fun. We were like, oh, let's decorate. And then when COVID hit, that was it. Like I never had a nanny. We've never had childcare. I am mom. I have someone who comes in once every like 5 or 6 weeks and like we'll do like a big organizing day. It's a woman who, I like to clean my own home. I love to clean. My husband knows when the vacuum's on, I'm at my happiest, genuinely. So, the expectation was like, oh yeah, Jed's running her mouth, but she had this full career. And I'm like, hey, this is why I'm saying what I'm saying, because I lived it. And I'm telling you, don't do what I did. Like it's not the path. And right now my life looks way different. I've just been 2 years a stay-at-home mom with my son doing nothing. And I've
How
never
old
I've
is your
never had
son?
a full-time job. He's gonna be 6, he's 5. And that's the other thing. I had a baby late. We can get into whatever you want to get into. I'm an open book. So don't feel like you can't ask me something. Mistakes and all are on the table.
Okay.